name is Praveen Prakash. I was ex-Principal Secretary, School Education of Andhra Pradesh. I was in government for 30 years. And believe me that if you ask anybody in government, they will say that technology is the area through which we can do the reforms in the most least resistance path in win-win area. Because technology is something like water which flows silently and then sits in that all the voids and the gaps and do the reforms. Having said that, everybody in the government wants that technology company should come and partner with them, but I saw that very few startup companies actually come and do the partnership with government. And why is it so? My belief is it is because most of the government companies believe, most of the tech companies believe that government means very slow-moving creature, lot of nepotism, lot of corruption, a decision will not come out, lot of input, and very, very less output. But trust me, friends, that's not true. The government is as inefficient or as corrupt as we as a country is. Secondly, also I observed that the companies, the startup companies which actually were doing business with government, once they got engaged with the government, the partnership was very long, 20 years, 30 years long. For example, the startup companies which engaged with the 10th and 12th class boards in early 90s for computation and the tabulation of the board results, in 90 they got engaged with the boards, and today also if you go to any state government, you'll find the same companies doing the computation and tabulation of 10th and 12th results. So friends, I will urgently request you to think about engaging with government, a long-term partnership with the government. But for doing this, it's important for us to understand this person called government. What are its attributes? What are its features? Which are the areas? What are the opportunities? The first thing the government is to understand is in government, there are 4 organizations. The first is the policy making, which is called secretariat, which is basically manned by the minister and the secretary. This policy making is nothing but, in a very simple term, it is something new, which government wants to do, the department wants to do. The second is, at the right, is Directorate of School Education, Higher Education, Directorate of Skill, etc. These directorates are nothing but the organizations which has only one mission, and the mission is whatever budget has been given to the department, you have to convert those budget lines, you have to convert those budgets into the projects, into the infrastructure, into the goods and services. And that's lapsable in nature. So you'll find this directorate always having this tension, how to spend this money, how to spend this budget. Contrary to that, the third are autonomous organizations. The difference between autonomous organization and the directorate are that autonomous organization budget doesn't lapse. So they are actually sitting on huge pile of money, these autonomous organizations. For example, the university is an autonomous organization. Every technical university in India has huge cash reserves. And the fourth, which is the public sector units, the state public sector units or central public sector units are actually the low-hanging fruit, actually the natural allies of all the startups. Because these public sector units, whether it's the EdSil at the central level, but we have also in the state, I know for Gujarat, Kerala, Andhra, Telangana, many states have these state public sectors for education. And their main objective is to get more revenue, do commercial activity, but unfortunately they don't upgrade themselves. Therefore, they are looking for the startups to do a partnership and give services to both autonomous organization and to the directorate on a commercial term and also G2C. Therefore, if I'm a startup, I will first, if I go to a state, I will try to look for which is that public sector unit I can actually do a partnership. Now come to the second thing. Every government employee wants the startups just to be sensitive. They don't expect the startups to know in detail about the acts related to how to handle media, how to handle courts, how to handle auditing, anti-corruption, etc. But be sensitive about the fact that whenever any government employee takes a decision, he thinks of from these 5 dimensions, starting from the media, court, and the auditing. Now look at the areas where we have an opportunity. How do I design a product where I can find market in government? First product, which I think is 100% acceptability in government, is if I design a product in such a manner that it has 2 features. One is it talks about a reform, something new, and second, it talks about a revenue stream outside the budget. It unlocks another revenue stream. I will explain this with 2 examples. First example is, today the whole India is talking about that all the students who are studying, whether in government school or private schools, from class 9 to 12th, should be exposed to the new skill set, like AI, machine learning, design thinking, etc., etc. CBSE also has prepared, if you go to the CBSE website, you will find for all these subject courses, they have designed the course material from class 9 to 12th. But how many schools in India, how many schools which are, even the private school which are in the block headquarter, in Tier 2, Tier 3 cities, and in the villages are offering these courses? Perhaps 0. Suppose a EdTech company goes to a state government and say that why they are not offering these courses, these schools, private schools also which are there in the district headquarters and the block headquarters, because the policy of the state government, the regulation of the state government says that if you want to offer any subject course, the teacher should be there. Suppose EdTech goes to a state government and says, you for these courses only, machine learning, artificial intelligence, data science, design thinking, you just relax the condition and say it can be offered virtually. So many private schools will sign up. Win-win situation, students are getting those subject courses, the money is coming from the private schools to this EdTech. The second example, if you look at NEP, NEP talks about 50 hours professional development program for teachers, not only for government schools, but even for private schools. Government wants it. Government is a regulator. Government is responsible for a quality education, even in the private schools. But government doesn't have anywhere about to understand whether this training is happening, whether teachers in private sector are getting trained, etc., etc. Suppose a EdTech goes with a product and gives this product to a state government and says, look, through this online certification of 50 hours for the teachers it can be done for the private schools. They can do it during summer vacation. The government has to do only one thing, one-liner order, saying that in this coming summer, all the private school teachers should get certified from this platform. The money will come from the schools, money will come from the private teachers. And these are the 2 examples. Like that, I can give you large number of examples where just by relaxing or doing some policy reform, the revenue we can unlock which is outside the budget. If I have to look at the budget itself, for the budget which are available, I said the lapsable budget which is available with the Directorate of School Education, look at those issues which are actually troubling the states. For example, today if you talk to any state government, I know for sure the inside, all of them must be very uncomfortable with the ASU report which came out. Class 6, 7 students, 8 students can't do the foundation literacy and numeracy. Suppose I make a product, a technology company makes a product, and they also internally know that this fund which is available for remedial teaching for class 6, 7th, 8th students, which is 500 rupees per student per year, lapses every year. Suppose we make a gamified product for class 6, 7th, 8th students and say, look, put this product, do it for next 3-4 years, next Pratham survey, next ASU survey, your state will do well. I can tell you 90 out of 100 states will pick up that product. So that's the way we have to design for these budgets. The third thing is about these autonomous organizations which are sitting on huge cash. Their maximum number of visitors in their offices are actually the bankers. And if we give them the product, They really want to go to another level as far as the quality is concerned. For example, let's take the example of state technical universities. State technical universities, huge cash reserves. And everybody knows in our country that the core courses which are taught in engineering, it requires much more quality. The engineers in India come from the tier 2, tier 3 cities, engineering colleges, where these core courses, whether of mechanical, civil, electronics, computer sciences, are taught by the associate professors, assistant professors, perhaps who are not of the best quality. As a EdTech, I can bring the best professor along with the LMS platform, plug in and create into a two teachers model. Most of the state technical universities will very happily agree for this product. Then the next thing about the government is that we must also have some feel of what these procurement laws are. With all invent of chat GPTs and DeepSeek, etc., it will take you 2 to 3 days to understand the procurement laws, particularly in the field of e-services. Once you will understand it, you will be able to also appreciate better what are the limitations of the government and how do I design my product. And the last is about engaging with the government. My request will be, when you are engaging with the government, please engage only with the head of organizations, with the ministers, with the IS officers. It doesn't mean that other people are not progressive, but unfortunately in our country, the system they have been trained and conditioned in such a manner that they have just follow the existing business. The new things, they have not been trained. So please only engage with these people. Can I reach out to them? We all know the 6 degrees of separation. Everybody is on LinkedIn, everybody is on Facebook. Through your friends, you can reach out to them and engage with these people. If even then you are not able to do it, and not able to engage with all of them, I am here to help you out. I have, like, after coming out from the government, you have a year of a cooling off period. I will be able to help you to modify your proposal, to modify your advocacy, and also to connect. Thank you, friends.